Welcome back to Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. We're ready for the finale. Let's do this. Okay. Evidence that shows this man, Christoph Gavin, requested that forgery 7 years ago. Clavier. Just prove it! Clear up these doubts now, or I swear I'm off this case! You must have thought of some evidence, Apollo. Prosecutor Gavin looks like he's in physical pain. That darkness. I have to pull that darkness out of him. And proof is the only way I can. What proves Christoph Gavin's link to Drew Misham?
Well, Mr. Justice, you claim Christoph Gavin requested a forgery of Drew Misham 7 years ago. Prove it!
It can be proven. Simply ridiculous. Why even discuss it? This evidence does not... Are you telling the truth, Apollo Justice? I am. Then I say we give him the benefit of the doubt.
Very well, but if you're wrong about this, be prepared for a penalty.
Your Honor, you do the defense an injustice. Mr. Justice is clearly passionate about his claim. Should the penalty not match his passion? God damn it. Okay, safe state now. Should the penalty not match his passion?
I haven't given a penalty like that in a long time. Well, Mr. Justice.
Fine, Your Honor. All I have to do is prove any kind of link. Something that ties Christoph Gavin to Drew Misham. And I have something that clearly does the job.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Present your evidence. Show us the link between our witness and Drew Misham.
The nail polish isn't gonna be enough. Check. What a pretty business card. Looks like a postcard almost. On the back, just her name. That seems odd to me. Huh? What does? Why write your name on the front and back of a card? Why not use the space on the back for a self-portrait or a caricature? Then people will remember what you look like too. That's not a bad idea, actually. Here, give me one of your cards, Apollo. He's drawing something. Hey, my hair's not that spiky! Okay, so that is not it. It has to be. The letter from Misham. He's gotten a letter in his cell. This evidence proves there's a link! That scrap of paper? I'm afraid I can't let you submit that. Is there some problem? There is. How could you possibly have that? You couldn't. Huh? Hey! That's Daddy's handwriting!
Mr. Wright's handwriting? What's the meaning of this?
I see now. Yes, of course.
What do you mean, of course?
I just remembered I had a visitor yesterday. Phoenix Wright came to my cell. Except I wasn't there. Phoenix Wright? When I returned, I saw he had something of mine in his possession. Of course, I had no intention of letting him get away with reading my private mail.
Mail? You mean this letter was in your cell?
No. However, it appears Mr. Wright is yet to be cured of his bad forging habit.
Well, if it's a forgery, it's not a very good one. The handwriting's terrible.
This is Mr. Wright's reproduction of what was written in the real letter.
Reproduction?
When Mr. Wright visited Christoph Gavin's cell, he brought with him a small video camera. What? He recorded his entire conversation with you, Mr. Gavin, and the contents of your personal mail. Regardless, this mockery of a piece of evidence will never be accepted by the court. Evidence based on a video a man with no authority whatsoever claims he took. A man who happens to be an ex-attorney suspected of forgery.
Prosecutor Gavin?
Prosecutor Gavin? As embarrassing as this is for me to say, I'm afraid my brother is incapable of making rational judgment at the moment. Your Honor, your decision, please.
The defense's claim is denied.
What?
Only actual evidence is permitted in a court of law. Please remove the defense's evidence from the record.
Better luck next time, Justice. Uh-oh.
Well, we've certainly taken a detour from our cross-examination, but the defense appears to be lacking proof. I'm forced to end the cross-examination of Christoph Gavin at this point.
Apollo, do something! I'm thinking, but without evidence. I don't have anything I can use on him.
Very well. This ends the special witness's cross-examination.
Objection! The show's over, yet the crowd screams for more. Only now do I understand why.
Prosecutor Gavin.
Frankly, I'm relieved. This has been bothering me for 7 whole years, and I'm tired of the whole useful angst scene. Now's our chance. Let's clear out the family closet. Eh, Christoph? Xavier, you're spinning out of control. Calm yourself before you say something you'll regret. Spinning out of whose control? Mine or yours? Take a moment to consider everything you've built. Your reputation as a prosecutor, your fame with the masses. You could lose it all, Xavier. Apollo, did you see that? He's trying to press Prosecutor Gavin. Prosecutor Gavin, try to remember what's really important to you. You amuse me here, Floyd. I couldn't forget what's really important to me, even if I tried. In fact, I haven't. Not even once. 7 years ago. Finally. You just couldn't resist, could you, Herr Resist what? Presenting solid evidence? Might I request you put the current cross-examination on hold. The prosecution would like to call a new witness. State your name and occupation for the record. I'm familiar with the trial. I've watched the video several times. Didn't you find anything unnatural about it?
Unnatural?
Well, you did seem unusually well prepared. I mean, Mr. Wright had only just presented his evidence. And the next moment you call in Drew Misham. It was almost as if... But... Funny, it didn't even occur to me to wonder. But now that I do, I see there's only one possible explanation. Almost as if, from the very beginning, you knew Mr. Wright was going to present that evidence.
Ah!
Correct. I knew that if I applied the usual pressure, Drew Wright would eventually come up with that forged diary page. Don't do this, Xavier. I knew because you told me, Christoph. What? It was the night before the trial. Xavier. Christoph, on seeing you at the prosecutor's office the day before the trial. I won't be appearing in the trial, actually. Why not? I won't be facing off with you on your first trial, apparently. In exchange, I brought information. Information? The attorney who will be there in my place tomorrow is not to be trusted. Don't even give him the benefit of your respect. Listen, I want you to call in a special witness. Then, I wondered about it at the time. How did Christoph know so much? Prosecutor Gavin! Christoph! We were supposed to face each other in that trial. A fair fight, brother to brother. I deserve that much.
You let me borrow the victim's belongings. You showed me all your research on the case.
The victim's belongings?
Which would have included McNeefy's diary, wouldn't it?
Mr. Gavin.
My, Clavier. You disappoint me. You find trees that miss the forest.
You're the one missing the forest, Mr. Gavin.
You can't sweep this under the rug. Not anymore. Tell me what was going on behind that trial. Why not? I've achieved what I came here to do. I see no harm in a little reminiscing.
Apollo?
I think we're finally going to shine a light on the black belly of this thing, Trucy. We've done everything we could. I hope it's enough. 7 years ago, the day before the trial, I visited the detention center at the request of my client, Zach Gramarye. 2 cards. 1 card. Showdown time. Enough. You lose, Gavin. Thanks for the work. Now go. To be honest, I don't know what his reasons were to this day. As far as I could tell, he dismissed me as his representation because I lost in a game of poker. I can come to no other conclusion.
Daddy used to say something. If you want to know a man, you have to compete.
Zach wasn't watching his points or the cards. He was watching the man behind the cards, Christoph Gavin. I couldn't believe it. Phoenix Wright? A second-rate attorney who relies on luck and bluffs? He dismissed me and went with that pitiful excuse for a man? He deserved to die for that error alone.
Hold it! So the one who requested that forgery was...
Oh, I'm not admitting to anything. My point is, these 2 men who shamed me, and I could not forgive that. Phoenix Wright and Zach Gramarye both deserve what they got.
So you asked Mr. Misham to forge that evidence so you could win? But then when you were dismissed as Zach Gramarye's attorney, you used your forged evidence as a trap.
You fed me information about the forgery you made. Then you gave your dirty evidence to him. Feel free to imagine what you will. My point is that all I had imagined came to pass. Everything went perfectly. Incredible. If I wasn't laughing, I'd weep.
Prosecutor Gavin?
Perfectly. You're mad, Christoph. Stop fooling yourself. What are you talking about, Clavier? Tell me, how did that trial end?
Cancelled when the defendant vanished.
Ah, I get it. So, Christoph, you've been living in fear for 7 years! What?
You were afraid your forgery would be revealed and your reputation trashed. You couldn't leave things to chance. So you watched everyone involved with the case for 7 years!
You know, he always felt like he was being watched. That's what he said, every day for 7 years. But I felt it too. Journalists sure he's being watched. End quote. Don't you wonder why Zach Gramarye got dropped out after 7 years? Right after coming into contact with me?
Wait just a minute. Zach Gramarye was seen by this reporter. How's that possible? Was he alive after being gone 7 years?
Finally, I knew this moment was coming. I just didn't think we'd get here so fast. Zach Gramarye gone missing for 7 years. Trucy's father.
What's wrong, Apollo? Go get him!
Right. Leave it to me. Allow me to refresh the court's memory. 6 months ago, Christoph Gavin was charged with murdering a mysterious traveler.
I remember him quite well. Shady Smith, was it? Poisoned in a Chinese restaurant. Tragic.
The details don't really matter right now. What matters is that that traveler was Zack Gramarye.
What is it, Apollo?
Huh?
Keep going. We'll talk about it later.
Did she already know?
Someone, please explain this. Mr. Justice, can you explain this?
It all started 7 years ago. The great magician McNeefy Gramarye's death started it. McNeefy Gramarye's death and his student Zack Gramarye the suspect. Whoever defended Zack in court successfully would be famous beyond belief. Thinking that, Christoph Gavin did the unthinkable. He forged evidence.
True mission.
Actually, it was his daughter, Vera, who really did the work. You took precautions when you had that forgery made, didn't you, Mr. Gavin?
Precautions?
To keep people from talking, of course. These two know too much. Leave them alive and there'll be nothing but trouble. That's when you plant your poisoning of the forgers. The Tolkien applied to a commemorative stamp. But luck was on Mr. Misham's side. The bomb didn't go off.
His daughter? She saved him by taking the stamp, I see.
But that wasn't the only bomb he set up. The Ariadne nail polish, of course. You noticed something when you requested that forgery. When Vera Misham is nervous, she has a bad habit. A tendency to bite her nails.
Ah!
That nail polish was a good luck charm. She was almost kidnapped once. Since then, she's been, well, you can see for herself. She refuses to leave the house.
That person gave me a good luck charm. But when I absolutely had to go outside, it protected me.
Yes, apparently she received something, a gift. She won't tell me what it was. It was from that client, the one who wanted that note made. It was his insurance.
Insurance?
As long as she lived quietly at home, there was no danger to her. But what if she had to go outside? If she ran into any trouble, she'd become nervous. And the nail polish would do the rest. His time bomb sat there for 7 years, and then they went off almost simultaneously. If you're finished, may return to my cell now. I'm not accustomed to standing for such long periods of time. Mr. Gavin, have you heard a single thing we've said? Oh, I listened quite closely to your little tale. Quite an entertaining piece of fiction. What? Clavier, surely you understand. We are back to the evidence. The lacking evidence. Nothing proves a link between him and the Tolkien that took True Misham's life. Objection! What about the restaurant? You killed Zack Gramarye to keep him from talking! I killed no man of that name. Read over the report again, if you like. The victim was a traveler by the name of Shady Smith, about whom we know little else. You can't seriously think I knew he was that particular fugitive? Okay, then why did you kill him? I plead my right to remain silent. Remember, this court did not convene to put me on trial. The defendant's name is Vera Misham, suspected in the murder of her father. My trial has been finished for 6 months now.
I'm afraid we have strayed considerably from our purpose here. This court concurs with the witness. It is defendant Vera Misham who is on trial here.
No, but you were doing so good, Apollo!
As long as there is no evidence to support the accusation against him, this course of inquiry cannot find Vera Misham innocent.
Objection! Your Honor, Phoenix Wright spent 7 years collecting this evidence! You still don't get it, do you? Let us assume there was a poison in the nail polish. Who then was responsible for causing Vermisham to bite her nails?
What?
It wasn't me, I know that much. The one who brought that poison to her lips was you.
What?
Evidence is everything. There's nothing more.
I believe this discussion has reached its conclusion.
Your Honor!
Mr. Justice, you have performed admirably well for a novice attorney. I respect your partner, Phoenix Wright's determination as well.
However, without direct proof, you have nothing. Isn't that right, Clavier? Unfortunately, yes, Gaston, you're right. That is, you would have been right until now. What? Did the news not reach your desk in solitary? The eyes of the nation are on this courtroom today. This is a trial case for the new judicial system. Judicial system. I'm gonna go with that.
That's right! I totally forgotten! The jurist system!
Jurists, you say?
The current judicial system has been deemed too closed off from society. This new system attempts to inject the wisdom of common citizens into the law.
Common citizens? Wisdom? Is this some kind of joke? What could we possibly gain by doing this?
Entrusting our judicial system to a mindless emotional mob of irrational mouth breathers?
Common citizens have something called common sense. Common sense is not restricted by the law.
Nonsense! There's only room for two in this court. Me and the law. Keep the riffraff out. Out, I say! They're not in the court, actually. They're watching everything by video camera.
How can you allow this?
Incidentally, the one responsible for making this happen was Phoenix Wright.
The Phoenix Wright? So, everything was leading to this. Of course. Right.
Right? Right. I won't accept! I can't accept! This is no court! Law! The law is everything! Law is absolute! You let ignorant swine soil your courts!
Gustav, it's over.
Olivier!
The law is absolute. You can't be serious.
What?
Odd. I thought you spent your life looking for loopholes. The law isn't absolute. It's filled with contradictions.
The law is the end product of many years of history, the fruit of human knowledge, like a gem polished to gleam through trials and errors. It is this fruit we receive and pass on and face in our time. And it is always changing, growing, nurturing it is our task as human beings.
Except for you, Christoph. You aren't changing. You stopped. You're not needed anymore.
I couldn't think of anything to say. Maybe because I still haven't seen enough. But someday, I'll know what law is. And I'll fight to change it if I have to.
I see no need for to further prolong this trial. This began as the trial of Vera Misham, accused of murdering her father, the painter Drew Misham. However, several other incidents were reviewed and we seem to have reached a conclusion. Before this court declares a verdict, I await your decision. Jurists of the court, for the death of Drew Misham, how do you find the defendant, Vera Misham? Innocent or guilty? I turn to you now to consider this matter.
October 9th, Jurist's Chamber. This ends the trial for this case. Only the verdict remains to be decided. Defendant Vera Misham is currently in intensive care. If a decision cannot be reached today, it may never be reached. The factors involved are simple. Did the defendant poison her father that night? If so, she is guilty. Was there another reason for Mr. Misham's death? If another person did another poison him? If so, she is innocent. A panel has been provided for each of you to input your decisions. That is all. Please, wait! Yes, jurist number 6. There is something in the jurist handbook here. Persons involved with the case may not be jurists. That is correct. I've looked into all of your dossiers. None of you were involved with the development of the case. Is the development of the case? I see. Does that answer your concern? It's time for your verdict. Make your decisions in the case against Vera Misham. After 7 years, the truth is ready to be heard. Judge wisely, judge well. Not guilty. And so a verdict was reached on October 9th, 2:14 p.m. The first verdict under the jurist system. Innocent by unanimous decision. The record will show that when the verdict was announced, special witness Christoph Gavin laughed. A laugh louder than anything heard before or since. A laugh that echoed in the halls of justice, lingering for what seemed like hours. October 10th, 8:30 a.m., the morning after the trial. In the intensive care ward, a true miracle occurred. Vera Misham opened her eyes. This place again. This is Wright's room. Vera, I'm so glad Don't cry, Apollo. I'm happy too, and proud. You did well, Apollo. When I thought about, what if Vera... Hey now, don't you start crying too. Sorry I had to see us like this. Vera? Thank you so much, Apollo. Thank you. No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have pressed you like that. If I hadn't, you never would have bitten your nails. No, I was wrong. Staying locked inside like that, clinging to my good luck charm. Vera, when I opened my eyes and I saw you, I finally understood. It's important to be a part of the world. To see things with your own eyes. It looks like that poison had some effect after all. It killed off whatever was holding Vera back from life. I knew you'd pull through, Vera. I mean, that's what Apollo was fighting for the whole time. Your future. I won't forget it. Here, let me thank you. No, really, it's okay. Ooh, look, it's me! I love it, thanks! Is that me? She really captured your essence, Apollo. Well, I think so at least. That reminds me. Do you know where the other lawyer is? The other lawyer? Oh, you mean Daddy? Except he's not a lawyer anymore. It's my fault, isn't it? I'm sorry. Oh, no, that's not what I meant. No, it's okay. I'm through looking away from the things I've done. I hope I can look him in the eyes again someday and apologize. I'm sure he'd be happy to hear that. He brought all those things for me when he came to visit earlier.
You mean that stack of videos? Mr. Wright finished watching them all?
You know, I knew my real daddy was alive. Huh? I was there 7 years ago, remember? I was the one who helped him vanish from the courtroom.
You did what? How?
I'm not telling. He promised me that day he went away.
We may not meet again for some time, Trucy, but know this, I will be watching, and one day I shall return. You're the next Grammar Eye, after all. Ha 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 ha.
Oh, Juicy. In the end, he can keep that promise, could he? It's okay. Felix is my daddy now. Even if he can't really play the piano.
That he can't.
Oh, and I've got you, too. Even if your voice is kind of loud sometimes.
Glad I made your list.
Hey, come to think of it. Where's Daddy? The one who can't play? Do you know, Apollo?
I think he said he had to meet someone.
Oh, I wonder. Maybe it's a new mommy. Tee. Oh, Juicy? Yes, Vera? I was wondering, could you show him to me once more? Sir Hat, was it? Oh, he's not been knighted yet. Here goes. Do us an impersonation, Mr. Hat.
Objection, ahem.
Not loud enough. And I like Miss Magic Underwear better anyway. That's Magic Panties, Apollo!
So, your memories returned? Mr. Wright, was this all a part of your plan too? I don't know what you're talking about. When I lost my memory, I was reborn as La Miroir. But you knew my true identity, did you not? That is why you chose me as one of your jurists. You're thinking into it too much. Besides, there was no guarantee that regaining your memory would make you happy. Of course it is a happy thing. For so long I thought I was alone. But now I know I have children. 2 dear children. I'm so proud of them. This too, I think, is thanks to you. Are you going to tell them? They do not know? Nope. They don't know their mother. They don't even know their siblings. I will go to them when the time is right. Until then, Don't worry, I'll take care of them for you. They're very important to me too. A little annoying at times, but still. I have to keep an eye on her at least. Because I'm the only one who knows how she really feels on the inside.
Whoa.
Your bracelet. Yes. I've seen a lot of mysterious things these past 7 years, but your bracelets were the strangest of all. I remember meeting him half a year ago in Christoph Gavin's office. And then I met you. 2 fates destined to intertwine. And I was there when they crossed. I'll never forget that. Such a small thing. That bullet at the door while I was away. Ten years ago, during a simple rehearsal, there was a miracle no one died, but I didn't survive that accident. That is why I left the troupe, my family. Now my memory is returned. I am myself once more. For the first time, I am glad to be alive, Mr. Wright. Speaking of miracles, Vera Mission regained consciousness this morning. I can only hope she's as glad as you are. It is a strange thing, Fate. Sometimes a life is taken. Sometimes a life is spared. You know what I'm thinking? People don't die that easily, really. As long as they've got something worth living for.
And that's pretty much the end of my story. For now, anyway. Took a long way to go, and this power of mine, well, it needs some work. But there's hope now. We lost it, but somehow we found it again.
That's why people are smiling again. Hope. Yeah, I think I'll keep at this lawyer thing for a while. Oops, training time. Gotta go. Swords of Steel. Here comes justice! Objection!
I'm glad you're staying with the agency, Apollo. It's like I found my long-lost big little brother. Oh, and don't you worry about Troop Grammari. Drewsy's on the case. Now that I have this, thanks to Daddy.
Juicy Grammari? Frankly, I got my doubts. But Hat Grammari? Now that'll pack him in. Thanks so much for watching Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. This was great. We'll finish these credits. It's not every day you get to try the Rocks Houses and one of our gigs, yeah? That's why it's over. The gatherings are breaking up. The news costs a run on tissues at the supermarkets nationwide. You're the real stars now. I look forward to our next jam session. Yuri.
Well, it's finally over. You know, thinking about it, I've been a piano player longer than I was a lawyer. And now that everything's sorted, I've got time on my hands. Maybe I'll take some lessons. Or maybe I'll take the bar exam again. So, I was standing around eating snackoos the other day when I got this crazy idea. What if they were golden? You could augment the crunch, or better yet, make them ding. Ah, the power of science. Although the preservatives might not be 100% safe.
In unlikely event you are wanting Russian feast, come to Borscht Club. The only thing colder than a restaurant is Borscht. Yeah, but if greater challenges have been required,
Then come to the hideout. You know who to ask for.
so Kitaki Pastries is getting back to its Eastern roots. Spread the culture after all. Yo boss, culture time! This is how we write the hood, capiche? But we're still about giving back to the people. Yo boss, PR time! And this is how we write people, alright? Not that Rock is paying any attention. Whew, kids. Nice. Music.
Bizarre! Chinese characters on cake was a fly idea like 3,000 years ago, believe that. Man, you want to make it today, you gotta keep it real. Know what I'm saying? Yo, that's why I made the OG cracker, for real. I know it don't look like no cracker. Gee, what? You want me to call it the OG muffin?
Sure. I don't know where all this talk about food is coming from. You ask me, there's only one food and that's noodles. Noodles forever. I got a new one too. See, this time I just put a big chunk of salt in the bowl. I pretend Undo's Noodles is about the salt. Salt forever. The salty guy. My exceptionally inquisitive nature has won me unequivocal adorations. You see, they used to call me Wesley Stinker, and now Sticky Hands. But no longer. I have a new name, one that reflects my true academic nature. Wesley Sicker, reporting, yes, curiosity is a sickness, and I am the cure. Oh my god. Translation. Localization. Absolute quality. I think there were a few spelling mistakes, but I'm not sure. I don't know how to thank you all for what you've done. Light has returned to my life, and with it, joy. I may have lost years, but I've gone to treasure. 2 treasures, in fact. I will think of them when I write my new song. Matsukara. Brusha, brusha, Brussel. Brusha, brusha, Brussel. Russell here, back on the beat with another interview. Hey, how do I feel about how things turned out? No scoop yet, but journalists' confidence in mint condition. End quote! Eiji Inafune. I've decided to keep painting. Originals only, of course. I suppose I'll have to see a bit of the world outside to find what to paint. But I know there are good people out there now. I've met them. The door is open. The world is waiting. Thank you. And here's director Shu Takumi. And that was the game. Thank you all so much for watching. See you next time.